Hello and welcome to another project. Whoa, what's with all the subscribers? So, hello and welcome to finally, the last project of this data visualization certification. In this project, we are going to create sort of the tree map diagram. Now, when I say sort of, is because I already created the project offline. I did it because it's pretty. I had to look up a lot of stuff. So the code it has some parts which are copied. It has some parts which I changed. Well, it's a mix of everything. And I thought that, well, if I didn't write everything from scratch, well, I did use the parts of things we used in the past, and I just added some new things. But I'll do my best to go over it and explain all the things that I did. So let's first see what we had to do for this project. There is this project and we had to copy it. Now, this project shows top 100 most sold video games. And here you can see they're also grouped by the platform. So we have Wii, PS, Xbox, X1, whatever, PlayStation, and all of those platforms. And you can see they are grouped, and you also can see the value if you hover over, which is nice. Now, the things we had to do is, as usual for this projects, we had a title. Well, we need to have a title, a description, a tree map with rectangulars with a class of tile, at least 2 colors. Each tile should have name, category, and value. So name of the game in this case, which category is it in, and the value. So I guess how many $1 million or so. I'm not sure what's the value in this case. Okay, then each area of the tile should correspond to the data value a month. Alright, then the tree map should have a legend, and the legend should have rectangulars with 2 colors, and also we need a tooltip. So we already built legends before, we built tooltips, we created legends. We created rectangulars and titles and descriptions and all that. We're going to use, they give us 3 JSONs, and for this one I thought to use the Kickstarter pledge. So here it is. It is, okay, so it is an object which has a name and children's, and all of the children's have name and children's, and then we get the name, category, and value. So it's like a node, like a tree map sort of. Yeah, well, that's what is it, a tree map. So you get children name, category, and value. So this game, or well, product design item, is inside the product design category, which is inside the name, well, the root object. Okay, and here it is, what I built. I started working on it, copying the project we had from the last one. We already had the CSS in place from the last project. You saw me copy it over. Also, this is copied over the HTML. We have the title, the description, and the container, which has the tooltip. Alright, the most important part here is the JS. Now for the JS, we had to learn, well, I had to learn a couple of things which I'm not very comfortable with yet, so still things I don't quite understand. I'll do my best to explain it. Hello Ivan, hello Rosli, Sahar, welcome everyone who joined the live stream. This will be a pretty quick one. I'm tired and I honestly want to finish this D3 project so we can start working on Node.js, Express, Mongo, all those fun stuff starting tomorrow. Well, actually today because it's past midnight. Okay, so in order to create this tree map, we needed to create a d3.treemap and needed to say its size. I have the width and height stored here as we're also using it to create the SVG. Next, we also could have a padding for the tree map. If we change this to 0, then all of the blocks here will be smushed together. Alright, next, we needed a root for our tree map, which takes in the Kickstarter, the object which comes from the JSON. Also, on this hierarchy, we needed to call the sum function, which just returns the value. If you remember here, there is this value. I'm not 100% sure what this does, but I guess that they go to the last children and add up all the values of those children inside the category. So keep in mind that we have this is our entire object, and inside it we have these groups, well, categories, and inside this each category there is the item. That's our structure. Alright, so after we created the tree map and the root, we needed to call the tree map passing in the root. And then this structure was created behind the scenes. Now, that was created, but we didn't have anything on the screen. So let me see. Let's get this out. And you'll see a black, well, a white canvas, an empty canvas here. So first thing, we create the cells. Each cell where it should be. It loops over the leaves. So there is this function on the root that leaves, which takes all the children's. We create a group tag inside the SVG, and also we transform it. There are these properties inside our objects x0 and y0, which will be basically the top left corner or of the boxes. All right. Ivan says your favorite Discord member is probably D3 by now. Yeah, probably. I like D3, but these projects, the reason I kind of got annoyed by these projects is that the freeCodeCamp curriculum is not providing all the information. So you have to look around and find all the information, which in one point is good because you get to learn how to Google, how to find stuff. But considering the fact that I am hurrying through these projects, it's not that good for me. So anyway, next. So we have the tiles. Next we the cells. Next we create the tiles, which are rectangulars. They have the class. They have all these properties we need: data name, category, and value. Then the ID, like that. I'm not sure this ID why it's needed. I'll be honest. Let's see if I remove it, it will still work. Yeah, probably. It was in the project. Okay, next we create the width and a height, as I said here, this D property has x0, y0. It also has x1 and y1, which is, I think, the bottom right corner. So they store the position for the top left and the position for the bottom right. So x0, y0, x1, y1. So in order to calculate the width, you do x1, which is to the right, minus x0. And in order to calculate the height is y1 minus y0. Alright, then for the fill, we use this color method, which is a scale ordinal, and it creates a scheme with 10 categories. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, category 10. Maybe they create more. Well, apparently they create more categories. So we just pass in the category and it will know which color to give us. That's a nice trick. I learned that too. But as you might have seen, I don't know exactly how it works behind the scenes. So just know that if you pass in a category to the color function, which we create here, it will give you a color for that category. Alright, then we have the mouse over and mouse out functions, well, events. We created these 4 times before, so it should be pretty straightforward by now. The only difference now is that we're using D3 event page X and D3 event page Y to get the X, the left and top position for our tooltips. You can see that they appear well to the interesting because it depends where you hover. Oh well, but they appear somewhere in the bottom right corner of the mouse, sort of. Alright, then we set the attribute data value. This is required for the tests, and inside it we add the name, the category and the value. I see that here we can have a little space just to make it look better. Alright, good. So that's that. And inside these cells, we also want to add a text and an array of t-spans. Now, there is this data we are going to loop over, which takes the data name, splits it with this regex, which finds, I think, all the uppercase letters followed by something. So I'm not 100% what this regex does, but as far as I look through, that's something it does. I didn't have my regex man around, but what I received from someone else, it looks like that's what it does. And then we append the t-span, style it to have a font size of 13, put it on top here, and then all the words we are just align them on top of each other, sort of. Alright, and append add the text. So you can see now the name there is added. It's not the best looking, but neither does here, so I guess it's fine. Alright. And the last thing we had to create is the legend, which is an SVG. It has these rectangulars created. Also, the colors are we get the colors using the same color method. So we pass in the category and we get the colors, which is nice. And we have the category name. Now, for the categories, we had to loop over all the leaves again and get the category for data.category. Then we had to filter over and remove all the duplicates because we had a lot of duplicates. Product design, for example, here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a lot of times. So we only needed one product design, one tabletop, and so on. So that's what this function does. Next, we create the block size, the legend width and height, which is dependent on the block size. We create this SVG at the ID and the class in order to style it. Although I think I removed the style folder legend, so we don't need a class anymore. We pass in the width and height, and then we create the rectangulars. So these squares here, they have the same width and height, so they're squares. They have a class of legend item. This is required for the test. As I said, we get the color. The X is just a bit to the right, so half of the block size. And the Y is getting the index. And based on the block size plus 1 pixel, it puts them on top of each other. Good. So that's that. And also then we have the text here to the right, which goes X is just 2 blocks away from the left, and the Y is the same as this. Wait, I'm not sure why we needed to add more padding to the top, but apparently we did. And that's it. As I said, it's not usually what I do for these challenges. I got inspired a lot from this project, although it's not exactly the same. I wrote all the code. I just had to learn a few things like how to create a tree map, how to get the position and the width and height. But yeah, it's similar in that regard. It's similar to this project. So for those of you, I'm very surprised if people will redo this project. They must have really a really great wish to complete this curriculum. So if you do, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to see who wants to build this project. Alright, so that's it. Now we can run the tests for the tree map. It should be green. We can get this link, go here, paste it in, say full. I've completed this challenge, submitted the last one, and we completed data visualization projects. Ask me later. Let's go to freeCodeCamp, update my account settings, and here we finally have, where is it? The data visualization certification, which is nice. Alright, let's show the certification. Look at that, pretty neat. Let me take a screenshot of it so I can brag on Twitter. And yeah, that's it for this section. Next up will be APIs and microservices. We're going to learn NPM, Node and Express, Mongoose, and MongoDB, which will be nice. And also we'll have 5 projects. I can't wait for this section. Not a lot of people were very interested about data visualization. I liked the projects. They were interesting, but a lot of things just repeated. Which was, I guess you can do better. Alright, that's it for this one. It's a lot shorter than the other ones, but I hope it is useful for you. I'll see you tomorrow. For those of you who are watching live, if you're watching the recording, I'm amazed that you're watching this. So leave a comment, and also you can find all the past live streams and the future live streams in the description of this video in the playlist. There's a playlist there with all the recordings. Alright, see you tomorrow or later or whenever you want to watch it again. Thanks all for joining. Bye.